Good evening, campers.
Hello.
It is I, Darrell Caleb Smith, and my beloved co-host of all these years, Mr. Christopher Picard.
At your service.
So here we are. He's at a service. He's a full-service prostitute, and he will come to your
Only
home
on weekends.
and supply you with whatever great sexual energy you can equivalate to him. So anyway, all right, we're off. We're back into the illustrious world of cinema.
We are.
That we like to do. I'd like to do a little opening thought process on our. We did a Michael Jackson. We did do a Michael Jackson
last week.
Little spotlight.
We covered the documentary on HBO, Leaving Neverland. If you have not seen it, check it out.
Absolutely. And there's many people on the internet, on YouTube, etc., who are giving their opinions. Is Michael, and that seems to be the public trial right now. Is Michael innocent or is he guilty?
Yeah.
So, see, if that were sitting on my lap, and I would just go boing, just go flying.
Could be.
But anyway, so the public trial of public domain is now on display, and it certainly is display. We've had a lot of people. We did do a spotlight on our Michael Jackson review of Leaving Neverland last week. And I'm very grateful that we've had a lot of people who were going through the trouble to watch our episode and respond. Most of it is negative, only because Michael Jackson is the icon that he is.
He is a very loved person.
He's a loved person.
And a lot of his fans are just, I guess, you could almost say, trolling the internet for any means to defend him, to downvote videos to criticize or believe things in a documentary. They'll comment on things but that goes with anything that's got a rabid fan base. But he seems to especially have a very loyal following of people that refuse to believe all the allegations. And we went, I thought, along our conversation very fairly last week.
Absolutely.
I thought we did a very...
We judged the evidence.
We did. We judged it.
And the evidence is mostly circumstantial.
Yeah. We're not there to get him.
It is above and beyond circumstantial.
Yeah.
It goes into the amount of footage, the amount of research, not research, but the amount of absolute physical evidence, photographs, phone calls, etc. We have
Faxes.
Michael on stage, all kinds of stuff. So you say just the facts, ma'am? Said Bruce Willis in Die Hard 2?
Yeah, exactly.
No, sir.
He did say that,
and he said that to a very famous actress she was at the airport. And
well, she was hitting on him.
Yeah.
I don't think she was anybody that famous.
No, she was a famous actress.
Really? I don't remember.
Oh, no, you're right.
No, it wasn't anybody
famous.
famous.
He meets some famous actress on the plane. He goes in and it was like a LL, not Laura Linney, but it was a famous actress of the time. Doesn't matter, regardless. So I'm grateful. We've had an awful lot. Here it is a week later. We're up to about 343.
We're close to 350, yeah.
343 hits on
Not
that,
bad.
which is far and above what our usual...
yeah, it's been nice.
Look, I mean, this is certainly Sybil Shepherd. This is circa...
She really does look like her,
Last Picture Show.
Yeah.
Right around that time, 1971, 72. Quite a thing. Well, we can start the show. We can start talking about Captain Marvel.
Let's start talking about Captain Marvel, the big behemoth of the both office last weekend.
It is $153 million.
Very good.
Is what it made.
And I don't think there's any surprises that there was going to be a big hit, I surely wasn't surprised.
Okay. Well, please don't call me Shirley. But
I won't.
There she is, little Brie Larson. We last saw Brie, and she was in King Kong. The new update, Skull
that's
Island.
right. She was
in Skull Island. She was running around with
she was
Loki the whole time, Mr.
Thomas
Hiddleston.
It's funny, that film fell out of my brain. I almost forgot about it.
It's not a great film by any means.
But it was fun. I enjoyed it for what it was.
This is now her third film with Sam Jackson. She was in that film with Sam Jackson. They're really good friends. They're now touring the world.
They are, yeah. They sang "Shallow" together on a British talk show.
Did they?
They did. Briefly, real quick.
What's his name?
No, it wasn't Graham Norton.
I love Graham Norton.
It was the other prominent one. It'll come to me. But it was kind of fun. But yeah, they have a lot of fun scenes in this film. I gotta say that. I don't think this is really a spoiler, but Samuel Jackson has probably the biggest part in this Marvel film than he's had yet in any of them.
Yeah, no, he's
huge part.
He's an absolute character in this.
He's great.
And they did a pretty good job, by the way,
with the aging,
CGIing them.
Yeah.
Here we have Chris Picard. If he was
Clark
a big
Gregg.
Screen actor, I've always said, just put a beard on that guy.
Yeah.
And it looks like you.
The big forehead.
But absolute. But here's Brie. There she is in the cockpit, I believe.
She
or
is.
She in a plane? No,
it's a cockpit.
It is the cockpit. And the guy says to her during the movie, of course, "Hey, this isn't for women. You know why they call it a cockpit?"
Yeah. I actually was
So-
almost surprised they left that joke in.
It was a bit.
It
on
goes,
the,
it'll go over the kids' heads,
Yeah.
but the adults clear as day. You know.
Now here's Morris the cat, or Alien.
I thought the cat was fun.
The cat was good. It's basically Morris. It's the
Yeah.
same cat that was in Alien, which I just watched the other night.
Jonesy.
Jonesy, yeah.
Yeah.
So it is basically the same cat. She's kind
That's
of.
Gemma. That's Gemma Chan. We saw her
Oh, okay.
in Crazy Rich Asians.
Oh, did we?
She played
Oh, okay.
the rich relative that was husband was cheating on her. She was very good too. I thought she had kind of a smaller part, but she was good.
She was not that smaller. Hey! He is. He's
Your
trying
puppies
to,
are,
Yeah, he's trying to copulate with my young Angie pie.
Yes.
So, Chris, did I like this film?
I think you did because I enjoyed it too.
I did not.
You didn't enjoy this
Didn't
film.
really care for it. I was
Really?
very disappointed.
Oh,
I wasn't
Very
disappointed.
sad.
But I didn't love it. I have to say, I just didn't love the film. I thought the first hour was kind of just a whole big throwaway. It was the country bumpkin thing. We're out in the blockbuster. We're in 1995, I guess.
It
they
was
are.
95, yes.
And I just found that it just I was really expecting a lot more. I was expecting.
Interesting.
Well, because of the box office and the hype and the stuff, and we do get carried away with what is the forefront of what comes at us via trailers and buzz and so forth around a film. And I don't know. I don't know if I was even happy with the choice of Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. And it kind of goes against the grain in a man-female thing.
Who
but-
would you have picked?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Timothy Chalamet, maybe. I don't know.
No, but it's supposed to be a female
oh,
character.
it is supposed to be a female character.
Yeah, they didn't just
Um,
cast a woman for the sake of it. No, this is a character that's supposed to be a woman.
Well, there's some upsetting things about this. I mean, here, if she's now back in the limelight in the Marvel world, and she came in 1995, how come she hasn't been any in the future? Why wasn't she?
Well, because there is a scene in the film. Did
She's
you
on the
stay
other
for the
side
end
of the-
credits? Did you stay for the credits?
There's
There's two scenes.
I watched the first scene
With
Chris. What's his name?
Evans. Yeah, there is a scene
Chris
that leads
Evans
right
and
into Marvel Our
Scarlet.
Avengers. Yeah.
And then I did not stay for the final scene.
Okay.
Which you did.
Yes, I did. The one at the ending was a throwaway.
Usually it is.
Yeah.
But I
no,
did
but I
watch
mean,
the one, yeah.
she has been out of the planet basically all these years.
Right, okay.
That's what it implies.
Okay,
Why
okay.
she's now coming back for the next Avengers film.
I see.
Spoiler alert.
There you go.
But I
So here
thought
we
Jude
have
was
Jude
good.
Law. Yeah, I like Jude.
Yeah.
Jude's been in a lot of films lately.
He's
and,
good. He's always working.
I
I liked Ben Mendelsohn this time.
did you?
Yeah, I liked him in this.
I when he was Ben Mendelsohn, before we go
Yeah.
into the
Star Trek face.
Well, this is almost in the Orville. They do masks differently now, and when you watch the
Yeah.
Orville, which I pointed out
I
many
know.
times now they'll have masks that look fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a mask. All they do is they solder it around the mouth.
Yeah.
It goes on the eyes perfectly, and they fit it, and they must glue it to the head.
Yeah.
But they had in many. There's Bortus, as a matter of fact, he's a gay character. He comes from a planet where only men have relations with men.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. And you can really see the landscape of the face
Of the performer.
Of the performer, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, the eyes, everything moves well.
Good.
But you can tell it's a mask. And I think it's changed the whole industry to some extent. And I can see it pretty much with these guys, too. Back to the film, I'm going to give the take, of course, as we see the uprising of Miss Marvel
Yeah.
here. Or Marvel.
Marvel.
Yeah, basically. It was nice to see a little homage to Stan Lee at the beginning
That
of
was
the film.
great. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
that was kinda
And there's another
nice.
reference on a train later too. When they
Right.
they show his cameo, he's reading something that
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
But
No, I'd say
that scene was fun.
Had to be his
chase.
last film. Had to be his last.
This
film.
was definitely his last.
Maybe
film.
they might have some little clip that they'll throw him in the next Avengers film.
Maybe he's in there because
He
that was
might,
filmed
yeah.
around the same time. So
Exactly.
maybe he does have one.
Very possible.
But
Yeah, I thought it was a bit lackluster. This film. I mean, it is the how she becomes to be. She's a fighter pilot.
Annette Bening.
Annette Bening.
I forgot she
it,
was in this.
No, I remembered she was in it. I saw her on some show.
she's aged
with,
a little bit.
Well, I think that's just makeup. She
think?
doesn't look that. No, she doesn't look like that. I've
Okay.
seen her on many shows recently. And I'd really love to ask her the question. You've been married to Warren Beatty now for a while. Is he still an old horn dog? Yeah, I'd really like to ask her that.
I thought of that when I saw her on screen too. I'm like, wow, she is the woman who's married to Warren Beatty, who was the most notorious womanizer
Notorious
in Hollywood history.
playboy in
Yeah.
Hollywood history. One of them.
What was it about her that reined him in? You know, like that.
I know
Obviously,
exactly.
she seems like a very sweet woman, but
She's a very sweet woman, and they did Bugsy together.
Yeah.
He was very attracted
well,
to her.
that's where they met. Yeah, obviously.
He was very attracted to her, and then Warren and Jack Nicholson are best friends.
They are.
And Jack Nicholson said to Warren Beatty, "You cannot let this one get away."
That's great.
Because she's the real deal. She's a real great person.
Yeah.
Don't let her get away. And so Warren
for me,
okay.
the best.
I think he was kind of going over the hill anyway.
Well,
in
he
his sexual
got the
prowess.
right. There was the right time for him.
Yeah, exactly.
But one of my favorite roles for Annette Bening, and I think she just illuminates like crazy in that as an American president. She is so likable.
She is.
And just so adorable in that movie.
Yeah, I agree.
That is still one of my all-time favorite films. I love it.
Well, she did that movie with Angelica Houston, and it was called it was one of her first films. She actually does a nude scene in that film.
Really?
It's called the. Oh God.
She's done a couple of them actually.
She has indeed.
The Grifters.
The Grifters. That's the film I'm trying to
John
think of.
Cusack.
John Cusack is in
Yeah.
it, and Angelica Houston,
Yeah.
and I thought she was great in that film. I truly did. Gosh, and then she was in the remake of Dangerous Liaisons called Valerie, or not Valerie.
Valmont?
Valmont.
Yeah.
She was in that.
Oh yeah, that's
The
right.
original Dangerous Liaisons was Glenn Close, John Malkovich,
Yes.
and Uma Thurman.
Uma Thurman, correct.
And that's fantastic, where they have her in the open clamshell, and she's standing there naked. And then the next one, of course, was Valmont, which was made around the same time. And it was not nearly the film, but it was still
Was
kind
Valmont
of,
a Milos Forman film?
I believe
feel
it
like
was.
it was.
But
Yeah.
the first one, I can't remember who made Dangerous Liaisons. They were
Oh, yeah,
just
that-
an American director.
Yeah, but it was somebody prominent. I can look it
It
up.
was somebody prominent.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
geez,
we're off track
back
here.
to this. Geez, I was disappointed.
See,
in the
I
film.
really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun watching it. There are some slow moments to it, I felt. But overall, I had a good time watching this movie. I loved, and maybe this is because I was right at the right age when the 90s was happening, but those were my formative years. I loved all the 90s references in this movie.
Well, it's all 90s
Back in the 90s, I actually worked at a Blockbuster for 3 years.
Yeah.
And I had a really good time watching this movie. I loved all the music.
Yeah, just
I thought
girl.
I had a
They
nice
played
amount
Just a
of
Girl.
Yeah,
And she's
that
fighting
there
with
was
someone.
there was Nirvana. They played Hole.
They
They
did.
played
Hole was at the end.
at the end.
The
yeah,
very end.
There was a lot of 90s stuff.
She looks like Sigourney Weaver right here, almost. A little bit.
I don't see it.
Oh, I do.
But I thought Brie was pretty good.
I thought Brie was
thought
pretty
she
good.
handled the role well.
I have no complaints with the
The
technical.
cast was good. I thought everybody.
The thing I didn't care for it was the story itself.
just didn't like the story.
I didn't like the story. I
Alright.
just thought it kind of meandered, and I liked having. I liked the beginning where she comes down and she's kind of been taken into under the wing of Jude Law,
He's like the exposition character for that first 10 minutes, telling
Precisely.
the audience all the things we need to know.
Well, we have
But I
that
still
little
liked
fight
it.
scene
It
at
was
the
fun,
beginning
yeah.
and so forth, and I thought right at the beginning I thought, okay, this is gonna be. I'm really anxious to see it, and I think the hype just got ahead of me, and
Okay.
I just couldn't get into it. I really couldn't. But finally, we get an hour into the film. And finally, she becomes Captain Marvel. We see the powers and the glory and the incredible. It kind of bothered me a little bit. There's a couple fight scenes she does with Not only does she take out Jude Law, but she takes out like 12 guys.
I know this.
She
She's talking about
pounds
yeah.
them, and then all of a sudden she's back in a hand-to-hand fight with Jude Law again, and he's kicking her ass all over the place. I just got. Wait a minute. She just beat him up with 10 other guys or 20 other guys, sent them all flying this way, that way. And then she's backhand, one-on-one with Jude Law, and he's like, beating her up. I'm like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a pretty film to watch. I just don't have any, I have to say with most Marvel films, they kind of fly by, and I always have a tendency to want to see them again when they do come out on video, and I can check them out again. And this film just done nothing for me.
Okay.
I just I couldn't.
These are the directors. They passed by. It was a male-female team.
Oh, okay.
Who've done quite a few films
Interesting.
together. Yeah, I
Really?
thought it was
What else have they
complimentary.
done?
Well, I know that the woman, they're also the co-writers and directors. I know she wrote that movie Half Nelson, but as directors together, they've
Ryan
done,
Gosling film?
Yeah, which I liked. That was good.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was when he was in like
That's
pure
his pre-stages.
indie mode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I actually prefer. I like Ryan Gosling quite a bit. I do enjoy the indie stuff that he did a little bit more. Some of those movies,
Okay.
like Blue Valentine. Regardless, so they did a movie called Sugar, which I think I've heard of. They did Ryan Reynolds film. I remember Mississippi Grind, which I still haven't seen.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
It's
Oh,
kind of
on
a funny
Netflix
story.
now,
They've
too.
done some TV,
Okay.
some prominent stuff, but I thought it was competently made. I enjoyed
What
it.
was missing drastically? No sense of humor at all. We didn't have those little quips.
Really,
those
I
little-
was saying before, I laughed a lot during
Did
this
you?
movie, quite a bit. I thought it was
maybe
very
from
funny.
her a couple times, but
There
no,
were-
no.
For me, there was a lot of jokes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
I can't give you a syllabus of them right now, but I really enjoyed them.
Oh,
My
that's
wife and I
nice.
were laughing the whole movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But I know I recommend Captain Marvel. It's definitely a big
Okay.
screen film.
I
give it a solid 3 stars.
Okay, I guess I would recommend it just to see for yourself. You know, I did love it when she does finally turn into Captain Marvel. There's some wonderful stuff. There just wasn't enough plot for me.
Okay.
I just found the whole first hour walking around in blockbuster Midwest Ohio or wherever the hell she
It was
is.
all Los Angeles.
Oh, was it Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Okay. I just felt like she was in, you know,
And then at one point they went down
Arkansas.
south where they went to see her old friend.
Yeah, I felt like they
went
were
down south.
the black co-pilot.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
but geez, it just did nothing for me.
All right.
I've read a lot of people who have. I mean, afterwards I did go check. It only gets about a 5.6 right now on IMDb, and the reviews are plummeting. From what I can see, because I remember when it first came out, I checked it. It was like a 7 point something. Now it's down to 5.6, and it's just like people are being disappointed, and yet. It is a girls' film, I think, more so for young girls to have someone to look up to. You know, the Black Panther gave us a movie for black folk to invest their heart into, so to speak. Here, look, give that look, Chris. No, you have to look over here, and you're very stern. But your hair has to go up. Oh, you don't have any hair there.
Yeah.
Sorry, but
He had a hairpiece on, obviously, the whole movie.
well, maybe so. But,
But
yeah, I just,
all right, well, why don't we move on then?
I found it rather weak. I visually.
Stunningly visually stunning. I
Well,
thought. Looked
the
great.
first 10 minutes, yes, but then as soon as we go into kind of Comatoseville, where she is in blockbuster world, now we're just going from this place.
Well, yeah, the
we go
whole
down
movie can't be
south.
all effects.
I
you
know, but I just never felt anything special was happening.
Okay.
And most Avenger films, most Marvel films, I always feel. Now, I just watched last night for this is like my 3rd time I've seen Ant-Man and Wasp.
Yes.
It's hilarious. Paul
It's
Rudd
very
is
funny.
fantastic. I love Lost. What's her name?
Evangeline Lilly.
Evangeline Lilly is beautiful. Michael Douglas, Michelle Pfeiffer.
great, I know,
That
yeah.
white gold, that hot love, that Michelle Pfeiffer, that Uptown Funk. Yeah, I loved it. And you know why? Because when you see these films, they're almost like James Bond films. There's so many little moments in the film, and I don't mean to meander on one of my standard monologues that
Exactly.
you always criticize. But what else are we doing here but talking? So
Yeah, but if we're trying to keep the show moving along, we can't spend 40 minutes
screw
on
the
one
damn
movie.
film, buddy. I'm here to talk to the people and give them what they want.
They don't want to hear it.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
I think they
They
do.
don't want to hear too much.
Because what else are we? But listen, if we just do a quick, oh, I liked the movie, did you? Yeah, I liked it too. Okay, let's go on to the now we're just everybody, other schmuck on
Yeah, but
the-
we've already spent
Yeah,
15
well-
minutes on this movie.
No, we haven't. We spent the first 5-10 minutes on Michael Jackson and other
It wasn't
assorted
10 minutes.
stuff. Close to it.
It's been at
Close
least
to it.
15 minutes.
Not just on this film.
Close
But we may move on.
Well, is there anything else you need to say?
Well, I was disappointed. In the
You're
film.
disappointed?
And even,
I
okay,
like
now
it.
there's also, the bad guys turn good, the good guys
Well,
turn
don't
bad.
give any things away.
Well, I'm not giving too much away.
you are.
I
That's a
mean,
huge spoiler you just give.
Gives a rat's ass.
People care.
Nobody's going to care.
Nobody likes spoilers.
And I'll tell you what, when all this was going on and the end finally comes and we just have her doing Superman at the end of where George,
I know,
not
she
George,
flies.
but
I
Chris
know.
Reeves just hovering above the earth like, oh, here I
I know
am,
what you're
I'm
talking
so
about.
great. Give me a fucking break.
Oh, there's Diamond Hansu.
Yeah, I know.
I like seeing him.
love him.
He's fun.
Well, he had a funny moment.
He did.
That's the only time I laughed in the whole
Yeah,
film.
he was good.
Was then the guy said, "You never laugh." He says, "I'm laughing on the inside."
Yeah.
That was funny. That was funny. Brie Larson is very cute. I
She
mean,
is.
you just want to put her in your back pocket and take her home. And leave her there in a cage that you can get to her whenever you want. Oh, you didn't hear that.
She already made that
Listen,
movie. It was called
FBI.
Room.
Yeah, she did make that movie, didn't she?
Yes.
But anyway, there she is, right out of First Man right here with Ryan Gosling, as you mentioned. It's a nice looking film. Special effects are nice. I wish it could have been better. I wish it could have been more. It never felt special to me, this film.
Okay.
And the ending just kind of came out of the blue. It just ended. And then they kind of, you think it's going to end. No, now we're going to tack on this little bunch of bullshit. I just.
But yet, it wasn't a long movie. It wasn't over 2 hours.
It was. It's 2 hours and 4 minutes long.
Was it really?
Yes.
I didn't feel like
2
that.
hours and 4 minutes.
Oh.
But of course, at around the 1:50.
You always remember run times.
I always do, because I pay attention, because and I gotta say, I looked at my watch dozens of times. I constantly, before I go in, I shine a flashlight onto my watch so the little luminary radial, little dots and the arms are all brightly, so I can see them in the dark. I did have to reprimand an older gentleman. There was a guy, I'm gonna say he was in his 60s, some older guy. But this guy, and there he was, 4 rows down from me, and of course, okay, it's now time to put away your cell phones. Remember, this is a place, they give a little speech in the AMC in most theaters.
I know.
Put away your cell phone. Don't be an asshole.
So he was on his phone.
And there he was on his phone, and he did it like 3 times, so finally I just go, "Excuse me, sir." And he just, oh. Yeah, I know. I'm glad he didn't have a heart attack, because he was an older guy, and a little white hair.
Oh, it is inconsiderate.
It's inconsiderate.
If you're in the top row behind everybody, I don't care. Just don't make
Exactly.
noise.
Who
But
cares?
when you're in front, stop it.
He was in literally the front tier of the, then
He's
you're
not
going
doing anything important.
down into the rows that nobody
I know.
sits at.
All right, moving on.
And she looks awful cute in whatever she's wearing.
I agree.
She's just the perfect little girl.
No, she's got a very great presence.
She really does too. And Jude was good too. He had the cat
yeah,
eyes.
he was good.
I thought for sure that the cat was going to turn out to be Annette Bening. I
oh,
really
yeah,
did.
that'd be kind of funny.
I like the cat turns into kind
Let's
of an
not give
alien.
anything away.
All right, no, here we go.
God, spoilers
Next
over
film
here.
is
Fighting with My Family,
okay.
which is in theaters.
It is in theaters now. There she is, Lena Headey.
Lena Headey.
Headey.
So this film, if you're not aware, is based on a true story about a young teenager from England who becomes the youngest ever female.
Based on a true story.
Yeah, I said that. She's one of the youngest, or the youngest female, I guess, champ among the women of the WWE.
Correct.
And she was picked out of a bunch of people. She tried out for this.
Yeah, you go to
get
training
in.
camp and.
Yeah, her and her brother grew up in a family that all were wrestlers. The family ran a gym. They were always doing wrestling throughout England. And they go to this tryout. She gets in, her brother doesn't. That's like a big thing between them.
Spoiler!
That's not a spoiler at all.
Oh, you ruined it for me.
No, the trailer says that he doesn't get in. I didn't give anything away.
Very cute little
That's
girl.
Florence Pugh, who's very good. She does a good job at playing a young girl.
Yeah.
Because she's in her 20s. We saw her in Lady Macbeth a couple years ago. Last year.
That's right.
And then she was also in that Netflix film about Robert the Bruce with Chris Pine. She played his love interest in that
that's
film.
right. Oh,
She's very good.
Very
I thought she did a phenomenal job in this film. This is the story.
Did you like her in her Pornhub video also?
Yeah, we all saw that.
Yeah, quite a performance.
And this film kind of references
She's an up and
that.
comer, I would say.
She is. Many times.
But here, this is the guy
This
who
film
plays her
kind of
brother.
references that too.
Does it?
Well, there's a scene where she's talking with The
I
Rock.
mean, that was the real person who did those videos on?
Yeah, that's her, the real girl.
That's not her.
No, it's not
Oh,
the
I
act.
thought it was her.
No, it's the real girl.
Oh, the hell with that then.
But she did him on purpose to kind of get famous because remember that scene The Rock is talking to her. She says he references Vince Vaughn. He says, "Yeah, we call him porn tape because he makes people famous with porn tapes."
Right.
And you see a light bulb go off in her head.
I really thought Vince Vaughn was great in this movie.
He was great. He stole the movie.
I thought he was very
He was
good.
awesome.
He really is a cornerstone of the film.
Yeah, I agree.
As we turn the corner of her going down to the Florida camps.
Yes.
More or less to train to be in the WWE. Not everybody's going to be chosen. I liked her whole camaraderie. It was kind of a glow thing where she gets in with the other girls and
it was a
she
fun
starts
movie.
to bond. And first she's just isolates herself via her British, her international self-isolation. And here's the other girls here
There's
that
Vince
she
Vaughn.
there's Vince, they're back to us. And I thought, I like this film a lot.
too.
This is a solid 3
Very
stars.
entertaining film.
Yeah.
I thought it was very well done. Written and directed by
Stephen Merchant, who's a hilarious human being.
You've seen him. There's a
Never
picture of him
seen
coming up. Tall, lanky Brit.
He looks like a praying mantis,
He did.
literally.
He co-created The Office. He co-created that show Extras.
Yeah.
And then the HBO show Hello Ladies, which I thought was great.
He is a funny,
He's a
funny
very
man.
funny guy.
He is hilarious,
Yes,
in fact.
I agree.
Never more hilarious in person, however. He is so hilarious if you do watch him on Gordon. What's his name again? I can never think of his name.
You mean Stephen Graham?
The
Graham Norton show.
Graham Norton show.
Yeah.
He's constantly on
He's
there.
on there, yeah.
He was on there with Ricky Gervais just recently.
He was on the what's it called? Lip Sync Battle 2. Was funny.
That was one of the best.
He did a
battles
Beyonce
I
song.
ever
Yeah,
saw in
that
my
was
life.
great. Who was he against? I don't remember.
He was up against the blonde.
Here he is here
The
directing.
blonde from Watchmen.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Malin Ackerman.
Malin
Correct,
Ackerman,
correct.
yeah. And that is one of the funniest performances I've ever seen.
Here
on
he is,
Lip Sync
Stephen
Battle.
Merchant again.
There he is. He just has those funky,
Yeah.
funny-looking eyes. He's just funny
Yeah.
as a human being.
He is.
He doesn't even have to say anything or do anything. He just has to stand there. Here he is. He's just hilarious.
He had a small supporting role in the latest Dragon Tattoo film as well.
Okay.
If you saw that, he played
correct.
a
yeah, he did.
computer guy.
He was also a big presence in Hugh Jackman.
Logan.
Logan.
Oh yeah, Logan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
big
he
part
played
in
the
it.
guy that was like couldn't go outside.
Right.
Yeah.
He played kind of that. That was almost that particular segment of the film with
Patrick Stewart.
Patrick
Yeah.
Stewart. That was almost felt like a it felt like a road warrior
Kind of, yeah.
part of the
Well,
scenario.
because like Baron
Yeah,
Wasteland.
I'm gonna
kind
watch
of
that
thing.
film again.
It's
I'm
a
gonna
great
watch
movie.
Logan again. It's just an
I
epic.
think there's a black and white cut of that too out, isn't there? Didn't James Mangold make a black and white cut of that also on the DVD? I
No.
thought he did.
Of Logan?
I thought I read that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I could be wrong.
You're thinking of.
No, not in addition to the Mad Max cut.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, this is
Well,
fine.
there's the Chrome.
Yeah.
Fury.
But overall, this is a very entertaining film.
It is entertaining. The
I
Rock
enjoy
is
it.
actually pretty good in
Yeah,
this
he was
film.
great. He plays
He
himself.
has a great little moment there.
Here's Lena Headey and Nick
Plays her
Frost
mom,
play her parents.
plays her dad, and when
Yeah.
you see the real people at the end of the film, there's some
Little resemblance.
Little resemblance. not
Very
much.
loose.
Very loose.
Here's the real girl.
Oh, here's the real girl.
Yeah.
yeah.
She's kind of hot.
She is kind of hot, and she really did something a little bit special. I mean, was it that special? I was kind of surprised at the way. Oh, here they are together.
Yeah, in real life.
I was kind of surprised the way she looks like Miley Cyrus.
A little bit.
She looks like Katy Perry on a bad day.
Mhm.
But
Here she is again.
Yeah, there she is.
Doesn't look that good there.
She puts her makeup on with looks like with a paint roller. But
She's like Charles, what's his name, Marilyn Manson.
a little bit, I suppose.
But it's definitely entertaining.
It is entertaining, and I was
You don't
far
like
more entertained in this than I was in Marvel. I have
Okay.
to say, I really was. Marvel was, 2 hours flew by out of my life, and I walked out of there going, "What did I just see? Something that that I enjoyed, that I was having fun at? I never did. I never did with Marvel. Visually, there were moments. I hate to go back to it. I always do this, but visually, it was kind of okay. But gee, it was a flatliner for me. But this film was fun. I laughed.
It was a lot of fun.
It captivated me.
Very enjoyable.
It was
It's a quick watch.
It's a warm film. Everybody is real.
And it's funny, too.
They're laughing. It's funny. It feels real.
It does.
It doesn't feel like a fake thing. Stephen Merchant.
He did a great job writing, directing this film.
He did indeed, and supposedly it's a true story based on his family.
I didn't get anything about him.
I didn't get
in this
any
film.
about
No, I don't
him.
know where you read that.
Okay, so he took her story.
Yeah,
Or
he made the
he
story.
took her
about-
story and then
and made
he
it into a
just
film.
wrote
Yeah, I
it.
mean, I don't know how much of
But
this was
it's written and
embellished.
directed by him.
That's
so
what I
he
just said,
obviously
yeah.
Adapted her story.
Yeah, he probably
to-
took it from articles and maybe
Correct.
personal testimony. I don't know.
He had her right on the set. She probably.
Well, we don't know that.
Probably
Do
knew
we know
her.
that she was on set?
Well,
I don't know that.
I bet she was.
I hope so.
I'll bet she certainly was. I'll bet that he got to know her somehow, and that
Most
they
likely.
decided to do her story.
But yeah, it's
He found it entertaining. But I thought this kid's pretty good too.
Jack Lauer.
He's
Jack
the only
Lauer
guy
is
that
his
really
name?
does any acting in the whole film.
Yeah.
Because he's first jealous.
Jack
that-
Loden.
There you go. He's at first jealous that he doesn't make the cut into the WWE.
I know.
And then, of course, he has a baby, and then, we see him change. We see
Yeah.
the arc of change.
He's got an arc, yeah.
Nobody else really has an arc in this film. But, everybody else pretty much stays the same. I mean, she does because she comes out of her shell, so to speak. But it's an entertaining little movie. I give it a big.
I recommend
give
it.
a big
It's in
yes.
theaters now.
It is in theaters. You can go see it.
We are going to move on.
Let us, if we may.
Daryl is going to delight you with a brief review of Happy Death Day to You.
Correct, Mundo. Happy Death Day is.
I haven't seen either one.
This is the sequel to Happy Death Day,
Which came out in 2017.
which is basically a Groundhog's Day of horror.
Pretty much.
Is basically what this is. This young woman, beautifully played
She's
by
very cute.
this girl. She looks like
Jessica Roth.
Blake Lively's little sister. She is such a knockout.
I was saying that, bro. Yeah, Blake Lively.
She
definitely.
really does. Look at her. I mean, she's a knockout. But this film, first I'll talk about the premise of the film. It's about a girl. She wakes up one day, and then every day she relives her life over and over. Hence Groundhog Day. What other films have done that?
Oh, a million movies have done it.
Million movies.
Groundhog Day, though, was the first, really.
Groundhog's Day it's the basic
Yeah.
precedent for this kind of a cycle of film. So she wakes up every day. People say the same things to her. She has to basically convince them, oh no, I'm now trapped in this warp. And at the end of the day, or maybe halfway through the day, she gets murdered by a guy in a mask, a clown mask, just like this. And he either stabs her or whatever. There are some very funny moments in this film where she has to devise ways to kill herself.
I saw that in
to
the trailer.
move on to
Yeah,
the next
she jumps
day.
out of an airplane.
She falls
on one
out of the
scene.
airplane. She does a couple really jumps off a building. I mean, it's really. I almost have to say, okay. So what happens in the first film? She goes through this cycle, and basically she kind of falls in love in this movie. There's a guy in there, and we find out various little stages of who she has to get to the bottom of who's trying to kill her.
You still talk about the first one.
I'm giving you the precedent for the precedents for the first one. She finds out who it is who's trying to kill her, and
We're not going to give that away.
that person is now annihilated.
Okay.
So now she can wake up.
Okay.
Okay, but now here's our second film. What are they gonna do? Is it gonna be just a standard routine thing? No. This film is almost better than the first.
Cool.
I loved it. Now we here's the boyfriend, here's the
Yeah.
Chinese, Japanese, Korean guy, whatever the heck he is. They now realize that this young Japanese boy with the white hair has actually created a machine that's in his lab, and he's the one that by doing this, it's like not a time machine, it looks like it, but he's created this machine that puts a loop into a specific person is affected by that, and now it happens to her again, and now she's back. So. And of course, her mother is gone. It's her birthday. She has dinner with Dad in the first one. Now in the second one, things have changed. Now Mom is alive. This girl right here is she's actually in the the Showtime series Shameless. And she's a wonderful actress. It's a great cast. I have to hand
it out.
The director of this film, he really did.
He directed the first one too.
The first one.
Do you know who he is?
I don't know
his name. Father was very, very famous.
Was he?
Yes.
Okay.
His father was Michael Landon. This is Christopher Landon.
Oh, really?
Father was Michael Landon.
Oh, wow. There you go.
He also did the film that I forgot to watch called the Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, which is supposed to be pretty fun.
Really?
He also did that.
I think I saw that film, and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was actually well made.
But is this girl, the premise was weird. Is this girl's first name Tree?
Yes.
Her name is Tree Gelbman?
That is correct.
Why would you name your kid Tree? That's
don't
stupid.
know. Well, because
that's kind of funny.
Listen, if Gwyneth Paltrow
named her kid Apple, I guess Tree is
and
fine.
you know, I think she was
Tree is dumb though.
John Legend. Well, I suppose so. I don't know. I didn't mind it.
My name is Chair.
There you go. But
here's the scene out of the plane.
Yeah, here she is falling out of the plane. I like this. I like this series. It's very
still
cute.
Playing in select theaters.
It is indeed.
It's slowly dissipating,
cute,
but it's out
it's
still.
Fun. She's adorable.
Yeah, she is.
This is kind of the geeky girl in the gang of scientists.
Oh, that's a girl?
Yeah.
I thought that was a guy.
No, well, look at her face. I mean, that's a female here.
Oh, it looks to me like a.
Regardless, but she's a terrific little actress. Cool. It's really her.
She's been in a lot of stuff.
She only had about 23 films or so.
No, her IMDb with film and TV has over 40 credits.
Oh, you're incorrect.
I just looked her up last night.
Oh, I think you're wrong.
She's got over 40 credits.
Does she?
I'll tell you right now.
She's really lovely.
She's
though.
good.
And not only that, she's a great little actress. She just has you just believe it. I don't know why. It was fun for me. It's a kick. It was in the horror world. I'd give this a 3.5 star. In the normal world, it's a 3-star film. You know, horror films always kind of.
I know.
You've got to grade them on a lower scale. But she's quite lovely, and she's the nucleus of this.
Oh,
whole
I stand
story.
corrected. 34 credits.
Okay, I thought it was 27.
No, it's 34.
Yeah, but it certainly was no 40.
It was somebody else that I read that had
And a lot of her
43
stuff
credits.
is shorts, and she did a lot of shorts and stuff in the early part of her career that aren't even
most
films.
of them have.
Yeah, but I mean her a lot. She's only got maybe
Not really.
10 film credits.
All of her early stuff is all TV.
Yeah, but there's only 10, maybe 10 film credits on there.
A lot of series.
Not much at all, because I
Only-
looked her up the other day.
Only 2 shorts.
Okay.
The rest are all films.
There you go.
Who gives a shit?
Who gives
All right, moving on.
Let us move.
We're gonna move on.
I like this film.
I'll check it out. You convinced me to watch it. Now, second act
There
was
we
in
go.
theaters back around Christmas time.
It's still playing in some theaters.
It's limited release. We didn't
Yeah,
get a
yeah.
chance to review it. It's going to be on Netflix very soon, and I believe it's right now available in stores
No,
today
it's
if
on
you want to
Blu-ray.
buy it.
Yeah, it's on
Blu-ray
Blu-ray.
today. You can go buy it.
Stars the illustrious Miss
In a role perfect for her.
Jenny from the Bronx. There
Yeah.
she is.
This is your typical, working girl kind of a movie. You're not taken seriously
No,
by
it
the
is
world.
Working Girl. I was
Pretty
going to
much,
mention that.
yeah.
The Melanie Griffith film from
Yeah,
like
88,
1983.
89.
83. Okay.
No, it's later.
But there you go. Here we have Vanessa Hudgens.
Yes.
Who's turning into a great little actress.
She's very good.
I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
We just saw her in Polar not
We
long
did.
ago.
Yeah,
She's
couple
wearing
weeks
that
ago.
god awful wig. Leah Remini, of course, from
It's
King
her
of
friend.
Queens. There's they're best buddies in the supermarket that they
Yeah, they
work.
basically work at like a Walmart, and
Kind of
she's like been working her ass off there for 15 years as an assistant manager. She wants to move up into the corporate world, so Leah Remini and her son create a whole fake resume for her, fake Facebook page, all this stuff, make her look like, oh my God, you got to hire this
She was
person.
in the Peace Corps.
Peace
She went
Corps,
to this college,
worked for
that
company,
college, got her
Harvard.
degree in this, right?
Yeah, and then so she gets this job at this big.
Run by Treat Williams.
Treat Williams. It's a company that makes skincare products.
Milo from This Is Us.
This is her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Regular type guy. He wants to have kids. She's not ready.
She's 52 in real life. He's like.
She's
38.
playing a 40-year-old in this
I know,
movie.
I know.
And he's probably 40 actually.
Right, no, I was going to
Yeah.
say he's in his 38,
So then this is just basically the story of her traversing that
Yeah.
that whole world while knowing that she's living a lie.
Right.
You know what? This is a perfectly, to me, fine, entertaining little comedy, little romantic comedy. I enjoyed watching
If
this.
you watch this with double feature with Instant Family, you've
Yeah.
got a great day
Yeah, I
planned.
agree.
Because it's both. It's very warm.
Very
it's
watchable.
funny.
Yeah.
It's friendly.
I enjoyed it.
I'm going to tell you something. I put it on 2 nights ago. I had no intention of watching the whole thing. Next thing you know, God, an hour went by. And then the next thing you know, I just said, well, it's only another 25 minutes.
She does look great there.
I'll watch the end.
Yeah.
There's only one scene I don't like. Okay, so she goes through this whole thing. She's been given a test by the boss, Treat Williams, to create.
who's like the world's nicest boss in this movie.
He really is.
Usually you get like a hard ass.
I know.
Like, he was
well,
nice.
Vanessa Hudgens is the hard ass.
Yeah,
That's the daughter.
his daughter slash
The Ivanka
VP.
Trump, so
Yeah,
to speak,
pretty much.
if you will.
She was good too.
She was kind of bitchy. We've seen her in a few.
Yeah, I
other
forget her
films
name. Well, I
also.
might have it
Not
here, hang on.
important. Not important.
That's
Nobody's
true.
going to remember.
Then
it.
I can
Doesn't
ask.
matter. Here's
Stanley Ashford.
This is Ross. What's his name? The gay guy that used to be on the Jay Leno.
Is that him?
No, it's not.
I was
But it
gonna
looks
say,
like
it does.
Ross. Here's Treat Williams, looking
Yeah.
pretty good since
Yeah.
Prince of the City.
You know what? I always like seeing Treat.
Only 50 years ago.
It's a treat to see Treat.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
I like Treat Williams.
Yeah.
Somebody
I do
who
too.
who was almost going to get like a really big A-list career, then somewhere
Let
along
me
the
just
line.
mention this girl right here. She had a big role on Big Bang Theory.
She's
she
good.
was the girl. She's very quirky and she's kind of kinky. And
Charlene
weird.
Lee.
She's very.
She's in
cute.
a lot of the Judd Apatow films.
Exactly.
She's funny.
I like
She
Vanessa.
looks
in
great.
this. She does look dynamite. I loved her in the opening scene when she walks on stage. She has to give a speech. She's very
Yeah.
pompous. She's
Yeah.
got that bitchy attitude.
She's
Yeah,
good.
She's a good little.
She's good.
actress. So J Lo has to go through and seduce this company into believing that she's now going to create the better product. There's an organic war between her and the Vanessa Hudgens. There's a whole link between her and Vanessa Hudgens that we won't go into because that is a big spoiler. But
I saw that coming, by the way.
I
think
find
most
it.
people
I
do.
don't know if I saw it coming.
Once there was a reference to a certain thing,
Oh.
event, I'm like,
Oh, okay.
that's it.
Yeah. Now, okay, so Vanessa.
Larry Miller, showing
there's
up
Larry
everywhere
Miller
lately.
looked like the worst burn victim.
He does look like a bird
You've seen
with the
in-
bald head.
Oh my God! But there's like crinkles of flesh.
His head
that-
is like Mr. Potato Head.
Well, not only that, there's just he looks like the craters. He's got his face looks like the moon.
Well, he's one of those guys that obviously had very bad childhood acne. James Woods had
Yeah,
it.
but I
There's a
know.
bunch of actors that have the permanent craters.
But he did something. He Botoxed out, or he did something to his face. He went that
Did he?
Gary Shandling route. Yeah,
Why do that?
because he never used to look
You don't
this
need to
bad.
do that.
Now he looks horrified.
Nobody ever looks good when they do that.
Horrible. Well,
I thought Leah Remini, her lip implants don't look good.
No, she's got those bee sting things.
It's
going
got
on.
the smoker's laugh.
This basically is Working Girl with Melanie Griffith.
Yeah.
As we said, and Melanie always said she's got a bod for I got a bod for sin and a mind for biz.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you, Jennifer Lopez, you have to often sit back and say to yourself, what is this woman really good for? Can she sing? Not really. Can she dance? Very well. But nobody really becomes famous as an...
I thought she was a competent singer. Not that I liked her music, but she has a voice.
She has a voice, but she's more of an image and
She's
a
not
presence.
Kelly Clarkson.
No.
She's not Adele.
She's
Celine
not.
Dion.
Nobody owns a J-Lo record. Nobody.
They just know it because it plays at the club.
They know it because some of the clubs they do play her
Yeah.
stuff at. But
If you had my love, that one, right?
well, no, I'm thinking of one on the floor. She did a song called On the
I'm not
Floor.
gonna lie. When I hear that
Get out
song,
there
my
with
foot
On
does
the
start
Floor.
moving. Not
Okay.
gonna lie.
Well, you're
I hear it at the clubs.
You're part gay, so
Not really.
you got to be a little gay.
You don't have to. Not
appreciate it.
really. I like a beat. I'm a sucker for a beat.
Well, that's what Michael Jackson and what did he do? He had to beat it with little
stop.
kids. But anyway, so we have little J-Lo here. Now there is one moment in this film that I am going to mention that really bothers
Which
me a
one
lot.
was it?
And that is the scene where, okay, she goes into this company. Now he finds out that she's been lying about certain things. So we have to have the boy loses girl, boy gets girl.
You gotta get that.
And
Yeah,
we
they
gotta
always
get
throw that in there.
We have to have her heart break so that she can get the guy back at the end, and we
Of
all cry.
course.
And this is very much a manipulative film. I like this little scene where they're all looking at
Yeah.
this little kid is always swearing.
Funny.
He's really kind of funny. He looks like the little kid in Jerry Maguire. Kind
little
of
bit.
thing. But but the scene I really did not like at all when she turns into J-Lo. When did she turn into J-Lo in this film? She turns into
remember.
Jennifer Lopez on the dance floor.
Oh, that's
They
even in the
do-
kitchen.
Yeah, no, not in the kitchen.
Oh, we would treat
They're
Williams.
at a party.
I thought you meant the scene when all the girls
No,
show up for breakfast.
She has a dance
At
with
the Christmas party.
with the guy
With Treat
who is
Williams.
trying to
Oh,
expose her.
yes, the other.
And suddenly the
yes.
leg is up.
I know what
she's
you're saying.
doing Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
Took me right out of the film.
Okay.
I have to say that was a bad move on behalf. But
Well, she did that to try to get him away from trying to reveal her secrets.
well, true. But at the same
I know the
time,
scene you're
but
talking
it
about.
was awkward. It just felt like we're watching Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
Do her her Puerto Rican goddess.
Well, there's a lot of actors
dance
that have
move.
other things going on that they'll throw into their films. Like, like a lot of times Christopher Walken dances in his movies.
Okay.
And he was the dance guy for a long time.
Just thinking today, where the hell is Christopher?
He's
Walken?
still around. He still
No.
works like crazy.
He hasn't done a thing in years.
That's not true.
Go look him up.
He's always working. You just don't. It's not always out in theaters.
Where is he working?
He's always working.
I haven't seen him work anything.
That guy's busy.
He hasn't. I don't know where. He's not doing
he's
jack.
around.
No, you're wrong, buddy.
Anyway, I enjoyed this film too.
It's fun.
It's entertaining.
It's cute. It's a family. It's almost a Hallmark Hall of Fame kind of. It's just
very
a fun little
predictable,
film.
but very watchable at the
Yeah,
same
it's
time.
very manipulative, but I did.
These kind of movies I forgive for that kind of stuff.
Absolutely, tears did crawl down my face. I must say, you get into, Jennifer's crying, Leah Remini's crying, everybody's crying. You start to cry. You just get into the heartwarming essence of family and the roots of who we are as people on this planet.
Yeah.
Family is what we, what do we live for in this world? It's love and family. All the things I have nothing of. But
Yeah, I mean, look, Walken is working consistently. We just saw him in Father Figures in 2017. He was in
2017 maybe.
2018, he's in something called Irreplaceable You, 9 Lives, Jungle Book, Eddie the Eagle. He's been in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, stuff that he's just doing voiceover.
No, Eddie the Eagle's a role. That was an animated movie.
No, I know, but he did a voiceover. He played one of the robots
In what movie?
in Eddie and the Eagles. That's what he did. He was
There's
not
robots
in
in
the film.
Eddie the Eagle? That's not a robot movie.
Yeah, it is. That's the movie with Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, there's robots in that movie?
Yeah, it's a robot movie.
No, it's
No,
not.
the
You're
kid
thinking
is.
of...
I'm thinking of the other one.
No, this is the kid who's like with
Yeah,
Hugh
yeah, he's a
Jackman.
skateboarder
The kid's
or
a
something.
skier.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
you're thinking of the Robot Jocks movie.
I
he
like
made.
that movie.
And that Christopher Walken wasn't in that.
No, he wasn't. No, absolutely.
I don't know what you're thinking.
But this is a fun little flick.
It's a fun little
It's
thing.
definitely okay.
You can watch a lot worse.
Yeah, you could.
It's fun.
You could do worse.
It'll be
I
on
was
Netflix
more
soon.
entertained.
Than you
I
were
had
by
more
Captain
fun
Marvel.
than Captain Marvel.
Marvel, okay.
Yeah, Captain Marvel.
Fair enough.
I'm waiting for the Marvel stuff. I want good stuff to happen. Nothing happened for me.
All right, we're moving on.
All right.
We are now moving on to
You want a final?
No, second.
Oh, Between
final.
Worlds.
Between Worlds.
Oh. This is quite a film.
This is a movie with Nicolas Cage. It's on Amazon, all the streaming platforms. It's a weird little movie. Written and produced and directed by a woman by the name
You could preface every
Maria Pulera.
Look at how bad he looks in this.
He looks like a wino who's been hanging out in a dumpster the whole time.
Exactly.
He's got matty hair,
part-time garbage,
drunk the whole movie, or
part-time
stoned.
garbage man. This girl, by the way, is in that film that I really loved called Look Away.
Oh, yes.
She played the girl who is her arch rival.
Yes.
And she ends up killing her in that film. Down at the skate rink. She's her skate rink.
This film is basically about...
This film is so bizarre.
It's weird. He plays a man whose life is in the toilet. We learned that his wife and daughter have died. And now he meets this woman played by Famke Potente, the German actress. He meets her at a rest stop.
Was in a great little movie years ago called Lola.
Run, Lola, Run.
Run, Lola, Run. I love that film.
And so she is basically somebody who can commune with the dead. And so she...
Give me as I chew my nail.
Yeah. So she is trying to help her daughter who's been in a bad accident.
Well, let's go a little further there.
Being when she's
not
strangled.
She is kind of almost like a sentinel for the dead. She's somebody that people
bring
can
spirits
pass through her.
Yes, to get back into the
and come back into life.
Yeah, so she wants to get her daughter's spirit back into her body.
Correct.
And
which is kind of cool.
It's kind of an interesting idea.
I like that thought, and I think she's very good.
I thought she was great. I thought for me, Franca was the highlight of the film.
I thought she was.
She had a good little part.
I thought she was.
And she's a good actress.
I thought everybody was pretty good in this movie, though. I thought it was a well-acted little movie.
Nick did a good job playing his weird drunk.
He did. He likes to get into these characters. He has so much sex in this movie.
He does.
And there's a lot of. I wouldn't say graphic sex, but there's a lot of hot pounding. There's a lot of pounding sex. And he's had sex with her, he has sex with her, he has sex with another girl. No, the one who's his wife.
Oh, well, the actress who plays her wife.
In the body of...
Yeah, it's all about spirits changing bodies, and he's caught in the middle, Franca Potente's caught in the middle. Other worlds, there's one shot.
There's one shot there where... And Nick, I'll bet he had a great time making this film. I'm sure he did. But he really plays a kind of a scummy guy. Now, I got to say this.
He looks filthy.
He really does, the whole film, pretty much. But that's okay. He probably,
They have this on the poster like it's some big thing. That guy's barely in the movie.
He's barely in the movie.
The other guy that's in the movie, you know who that was? His young partner?
Who?
That was Sean Penn and Robin Wright's son.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Now
that you say that,
his name is Hopper Penn.
Yeah. What a great photograph that. What a beautiful girl she is.
She is. She's attractive.
She's quite luscious. But when I first saw Between Worlds, the first thing that came to my mind was, it's another religious movie with Nicolas Cage.
You're thinking of the Left Behind series that he did. We only did one of them.
Well, he did a film. No, he did another one where the apocalypse was
That's
coming.
Left Behind.
Is it? Okay.
That's the one that's based on a Christian series of books.
Oh, okay.
About the rapture.
Okay. Right,
which I still haven't seen. Is it good? Did you see it?
I did see it.
I'd like to see it.
Well, because the world ends at the end.
There was
spoiler.
There's a big couple Christian companies that make movies. They did the Left Behind series a few years ago.
Okay.
This was a big budget remake of that. Okay. Or a bigger budget, not big budget.
I know Martin, what's his name?
Sheen?
Yeah, not Sheen. Martin...
Lawrence.
No, Martin, Charlie Sheen's dad. Yeah, Martin Sheen.
I said that, yeah.
Yeah, but I thought Martin Sheen was the guy who's the British guy.
That's Michael Sheen.
Michael Sheen, okay.
No relation.
Correct. Okay, yeah, because I know he does a lot of those religious films. But, okay, here's his actual daughter and his actual wife.
Yeah.
All looks way too young for him. This looks like his daughter and his granddaughter.
Well, no, remember, we don't know how long ago they died.
Okay.
Could have been a decade. We don't know.
Yeah, right.
This whole movie takes place in Louisiana.
It does, indeed.
I believe.
And now we find out that...
And Mississippi.
We can't really go into too much of it without giving too much of it away.
Yeah. But
it's entertaining.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
It wasn't bad.
I thought the climax was kind of well done. It was kind of, kind
of depressing, too.
A little depressing, too. But all in all, I liked the film. I
liked it a heck of a lot more than I thought I was.
Didn't look at my watch. I enjoyed it. Of course, I'm at home watching the film. So,
yeah, well, that's the beauty of Amazon. You just sit there and,
Exactly.
I watched it today before I left to come meet up with you.
Oh, very good.
I finished it exactly at 4:59.
Just in
Got
time
out the door by 5:20.
Very good for you.
But, you could watch a lot worse. Nick has made a lot worse. I've said this on this show many times. I will always support Nick. I've always liked Nick.
I do too.
I don't care if he makes movies that aren't great sometimes. I still like Nick.
I feel the same way.
I want to see Nick Cage in movies forever.
Please.
He's
just got, there's a certain nucleus about him that's
Yeah.
very watchable.
I
And
agree.
if you've grown up with the guy as a movie star
Yes.
in your life, I mean, we got to go back to Valley Girl
Yeah.
and Peggy
Oh,
Sue
they're
got
making.
married.
I just read this. They're remaking Valley Girl,
Right.
and
Why
this makes
shouldn't they?
sense. The star is the girl from Happy Death Day. I could totally see that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, she was in another film too, the Happy Death Day girl.
Yeah,
She's
she's been in a
made
few
new
things.
Well, she made a newer film after Happy Death Day where she's a. It's kind of like what's that movie with Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams?
The Notebook.
The Notebook.
Oh yeah, it was called.
She made a movie.
It was a romantic film.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
I'll tell you right now because I looked it up. It was recently out.
Yeah.
Um,
2017, maybe
yeah.
18.
Yeah, it's got her and a guy walking in the sunset together
Right.
in the film.
Right.
Yeah,
Not
it's
a very
called
good film.
Forever My Love, I think.
There you go. But look at Franca Potente.
Forever My Girl. I was close.
That's it. That's it.
But she was also in La La Land, which I didn't realize.
No, she was one of the roommates.
One of the
at
roommates.
beginning.
That's what
Yeah.
I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Overall, I gotta say, you could watch this movie. It's not bad.
Well, let's go back to Mirage, just his last film. That was a great movie.
Mirage.
Was it a
You're
Mirage?
talking about Mandy?
Yeah, Mandy.
Mandy.
Was it
Mandy was great.
I thought,
Mandy was a very visual
Mandy?
film. Yeah, Mandy.
I'm sorry, I'm
Check
old.
out Mandy.
I can't remember
We
anything.
covered his whole career and that film about a month
did,
or
yeah,
two
yeah.
ago.
That was
Mandy
just-
was awesome. That was an
It
onslaught.
really was it was
Violence,
almost like a Charles,
visual.
was a Charles Manson cult
Kind
kind
of.
of a film.
But it was a really dark,
It was.
demonic element to it.
Went on about a half hour too long.
Yeah.
But
it was a good film.
I really enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, check out Mandy if you
Yeah.
still haven't seen it.
Absolutely.
All right, now we're going to move on. I'm going to review a film that you haven't seen because
If
I
you'd like.
ain't got a chance to review it. I'm going to be fairly brief. So this is now on video. It was in theaters in October, mid-90s. It's the writing directorial debut of Jonah Hill,
Jonah.
who we all know from many films.
Let me preface your review right off the bat. I watched about the first 25 minutes of this film
you
and had to turn
turned
it
it
right
off.
off.
Oh.
Well, it's only a square. It's a square film.
Okay.
You know, it looks like it was filmed by the same
Yeah.
Evil Dead
I know.
home movie kind of people.
This is out now on all the streaming platforms. I actually got
there
it.
for it.
I went to see it in the theater in October when it was out.
Oh, I'm
And I
sorry.
just haven't gotten a chance to review
What
it.
a waste of your.
No, I don't think so.
What a
I
waste
enjoyed
of
this
your,
film. I didn't love it, but I enjoyed it. It's about a young kid who comes of age by joining this group of skateboard kids in Los Angeles in the 90s, in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
And you can tell this is a film that I guess echoes the world that Jonah Hill grew up in
Let me
L.A.
just pop one of those
I
zips
know.
right there.
But he's got all these different kids that he looks up to, that he gets to know very well, and they become this close-knit group of friends. They experience a lot of things together. The usual, the sex, the drinking.
Did you like it? Was it
Yeah,
well
I
done?
said I enjoyed it.
Oh,
I thought
okay.
it was well done for a writing directorial debut.
Oh, look, there's Jonah.
Yeah, Jonah directing this film.
Rolex.
Exactly. Lucas Hedges, who's excellent in just about
okay.
everything,
We just
plays
saw him
this
and
kid.
Ben is back.
Yeah, he plays this kid's older brother, who's kind of a douchebag. And then in the film, the mother is played by Catherine
Is that a
Waterston.
technical term? Douchebag?
Yes. Catherine Waterston plays his mother, who's very good, single mom.
Okay.
This kid's very good. I liked him. His name is
Shorty. His name is Shorty.
Sonny Suljic.
Yeah, he plays
Yeah, he's
Shorty.
a short little kid.
He plays Shorty.
But it's a nice little movie. But it is a little. It's not for everybody because it's very profane. There's a lot of profanity if you don't like those kind of things.
Okay.
It's not a movie that you should put on for your 12-year-old. I don't think.
Yeah.
Just because there's a lot of language.
Even though there are 12-year-olds in the film.
No, there are. But I mean, if you're looking for a movie to watch with your kid who's 11,
This
12,
ain't it.
This ain't it because it's more of a film that's geared towards older audiences.
Gotcha.
At least in terms of the content.
Mm.
But it's a film that I think is very relatable to people who obviously grown up. You know,
Yeah.
it's very much oriented in the strife of being a young
Oh,
kid.
this is a
You're trying to.
crisp looking
Yeah,
photo.
that's a terrible photo. You're trying to find your way in the world. You're hitting puberty, all these kind of things. All that kind of stuff you can relate to. First sexual experience with this girl here.
Yeah, okay. Did you get her phone number for me?
I didn't.
Well, her
She's
name
a little
is
young for
Estelle.
you. Estelle. But you know, to me, it's a 3-star film at best.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
And-
I enjoyed it.
and
I would
worst,
recommend
it's a
checking it
what?
out. No,
At
it
worst,
reminded
it's a
me.
2-star film.
For you maybe. It remind. There's
What you
Catherine
saying?
Watson. It reminded me of Kids by Larry Clark. That came out in
Well, that's a
1995.
sexual film. Is this
Very.
a sexual film?
Not like that.
Yeah.
No. Let me tell.
Kids is a classic.
It is. This reminds me of Kids only because of the type of kids that are being displayed
Yeah.
in the storyline.
Kids
It
is
reminded me of that.
Kids is a harrowing,
Kids is a
unforgettable
very harrowing, unforgettable,
piece of work.
serious film
It
that
is.
to me
It's about
felt
AIDS,
like a
it's-
documentary.
God,
Kids.
yeah, all his films.
They're
do.
great. Ken
Well,
Park. Another one.
Another graphic.
His movies.
Film.
If Larry Clark's
Bully.
films
I
are
love
very
Bully.
sexual.
Yeah.
Bully is a very
Whatever
intense
happened
film.
to Nick? What's his face that was in that film?
Nick Stahl.
Yeah. Remember he was missing
For a while. He was on Skid Row or whatever.
Yeah, right.
I don't know what
Then
happened.
he went
to him.
missing.
Then
And
he did that show Carnival, and he went missing
that's
after
right.
that.
Yeah,
But then he was in the Terminator with Claire Danes.
No,
and
that was before. And it wasn't Claire Danes. He was in with Logan. What's her name?
No, he was with Claire Danes.
Was he
in
the Terminator?
Terminator 3. Not so.
I thought that was with what's her name? The blonde who played the Terminator.
That's Christina Loken who played the Terminator.
That's what I.
No, but Claire Danes was the girl love interest.
Okay, interesting.
He went on Skid Row, I think, after that, because Carnival was before that.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Anyway, Larry Clark is a filmmaker. Check out 3 films. Check out Bully.
he's
Check
amazing.
out Ken Park. Check out Kids. Really intense filmmaker.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. This just reminded me of that just based on the type of kids. They're all skateboarders in both films.
Okay.
But I like the mid-90s. It's a very watchable short movie. Less than an hour and 30 minutes.
Unlike this review that's going on and on.
Dude, this is a lot less than any of your reviews. Are you kidding me?
I am.
But that's it. I'm done.
All right. Cool.
Mid-90s, you
So
can
what's
see a
coming
lot
out
worse.
next week, Chris?
What's coming out next week? We have a bunch of stuff.
Do we?
Yeah, but only I think 2 of them are really interesting.
Okay, we got Aftermath.
We have Captive State, which is the
director of Rise of the Planet. What's this about?
it's a sci-fi film about aliens taking over. Looks like fun.
Who's in this?
John Goodman, I know, was in it. I forget who else.
Okay.
Aftermath.
Okay.
Another Jason Clarke
Here we
film.
have Alexander Skarsgård.
And Keira Knightley.
The beautiful.
I actually
Keira.
want to see this.
I kind of like to see it.
It
too.
takes place in Germany after the war's over, and it's
I
about the
know.
Germans coming home.
It looks like that movie.
This
that
is the directorial-
Brad Pitt made with. Remember that German film? He was set in Germany or England.
You talk about the Robert Zemeckis film.
Yes.
Yes, that was good.
What was the name of that film?
With what's her name is in that with him?
Yeah, and she's in it, and she's a spy.
Yeah.
And, I love that film.
Was it Marion Cotillard?
It was Marion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good.
Supposedly, they said that she's the reason that his marriage broke up with
Really? I didn't
Angelina.
hear that.
Yeah, that's a film.
Oh. This is coming out, the directorial debut of Idris Elba. I kind of want to see this.
I have this, and I
I
believe
know.
I gave
Well,
it
it's
to you.
available. Watch. And this, I have no desire, but I'm just mentioning it because it's coming out. If you want to take your kids, Wonder Park's coming out.
Oh, okay.
No interest.
No, I have no interest.
That's it. So we'll see you next week.
What about Us? When is Us coming out? That movie with
Jordan Peele's
Jordan
newest
Peele.
horror
Yeah.
that they're saying is a masterpiece.
Yeah, I know.
That's coming out, I think, the following week.
Oh, is it?
It's very
That does
soon.
look good.
That looks great.
That
I'll be
looks
seeing
great.
that, obviously.
Lupita D'Mango.
Lupita Nyong'o.
Nyong'o is in it.
Yes.
D'Mango.
That looks good.
Nyong'o. What a great photograph.
It looks great, right?
I know many people that don't love her,
I think she's beautiful.
but I think she's lovely. I think she's a great actress.
She's a good actress, yeah. I agree.
She's wonderful in that Nutcracker in the Fourth Realm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she's fantastic in that. She's kind of like the bad guy.
Okay.
Good guy turned bad, and I really love that film.
I'm glad
We
you
never
watched
did
it.
review it. I should review it on this show. It's called Nutcracker in the Fourth Realm. I think people got the feeling that it was going to be kind of a dance,
Yeah.
like a Nutcracker.
I know.
film. It's not at all. It's really an Alice Through the Looking Glass film.
Interesting.
Where she goes into a whole other dimension. She's gone down the rabbit hole. Now she's in another world. So her mother has died. She's trying to find her mom, and it's a wonderful little movie. We got Morgan Freeman in that film. Keira Knightley's
Well,
in
you
it.
just reviewed it.
I loved it.
Okay, good.
It's a great looking film too.
It does look like it looked good.
4K,
Visually.
it's spectacular.
Nice.
And it's fun to watch. It's really a
Okay.
kick.
Bonus
Who else
review
is
here
in
for
it?
you, folks.
The main woman in it is it's not Meryl Streep, but it's somebody of that caliber who is the mother figure.
I know there's a prominent actress in it. I remember. I
There
remember
is,
now.
yeah. It's not, it might be Glenn Close, but I
I
don't
don't
think
know
so.
about that. Maybe.
All
Anyway,
right.
that's our show.
That's our show. We'll
We
see
will,
you next week.
see you guys next week.
Blah, blah, blah,
Blah, blah, blah, blah, blah, all that good stuff.
Yeah, all that good stuff. Yeah, funny. Haha.
Are you done?
I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
Louie, where are you?
Road. Yeah, where we going now? Yeah, Mr. Headlines.